you shouldn't be afraid to say the president spoke harshly about Israel. He certainly did. Israel Katz is the defense minister. He's a very strong loyalist to the prime minister. And there was this announced deal. The Israelis, in theory, agreed to it. The president says that the Israelis went out with all they had right after the deal was announced. I'm not sure that was clear to us, but it could be true. What's certainly true is a couple of hours after that, Iran, I know because I was here, sent 6 volleys of missiles, of ballistic missiles. And then an hour or two later, the Israelis announced there was a deal. Everyone agreed there was a deal. And then another hour or two later, another one came. And the Israelis said this is a huge violation. It's clear this was a violation. And they said we're going to go, take revenge in the center of Tehran, which the president is trying to stop.
I look, Ethan, at the moment at hand, and of course, safety really across both territories is very much focus. But I've got to ask about the word deal. We in America, both the detractors and the supporters of the President of the United States, understand his real estate heritage, and he loves to talk about transactional deals. Folks, our Tim O'Brien at Bloomberg is encyclopedic on this. How is that word deal translated across the Mediterranean?
Look, I actually think that this transactional nature to the president works pretty well. I think he gets the Middle East vibe. I don't know that it would work so well in Denmark, but out here where there really is a lot of kind of hard edges, I think it's not a bad idea. I mean, you could sort of imagine, he says to Netanyahu, I'll give you those B-2 bombers, but in exchange, you got to give me a peace deal. He says to the Syrians and the Saudis and so on. So it feels like it's something that he may actually grasp better than most previous presidents.
Ethan, from the perspective of Israel, is it in their interest? Do they really want to have this ceasefire here? Is this something they want so that maybe they can negotiate some of their objectives?
Yes. Look, I think there are people here who would perhaps have liked to have seen it continue. But if we take at face value what the president said in that clip you were playing, that all of these nuclear enrichment sites, or uranium enrichment sites, have been truly obliterated or very, very badly damaged. And if we then add to what the Israeli military said yesterday, that 80% of the ballistic missile launchers have been taken out. That's a lot of threat removed from Israel. Now, at the same time, to have dozens of planes in the air, 1,700 kilometers away, to be shutting businesses and shutting schools and ending all kinds of productivity here has been an enormous cost to this place. So if they're in fact removing this threat, this would be fantastic. And it also removes the sponsor to Hamas and Hezbollah and so forth. So it's a very, very big day for Israel.
Ethan, and is the belief within Israel today that Iran wants to negotiate, wants some type of peace here?
I'm not sure that that's the belief. I think the belief is that it's now so weak that it can't actually go to war.
Okay.
And that's all they really care about, right? And if there will be some negotiation over the uranium enrichment, but they'll be coming at it from a position of enormous weakness, and that's what Israel cares about.
Ethan, the moment at hand here, what would you expect to hear from Europe? I mean, the president flies over to The Hague. There will be meetings. And frankly, folks, after what we saw at the G7, I would almost presume the president will exit early, Paul.
Right. Yeah.
We don't have any reporting on that, but that sort of seems to be the mode. What does Israel expect from Europe? Are they not part of the dialogue?
They're kind of been marginalized. I mean, as you may remember, the three friends, Germany and Britain, were negotiating with the Iranian foreign minister and didn't go anywhere. And President Trump said, they're irrelevant. It all matters what we talk about with us. Now, that's obviously the usual Trumpian exaggeration. But I think that these countries, like everyone, to be honest, has to go, wow, these last 12 days have gone in a way that one wouldn't have predicted. The Iranians have really been stripped of their nuclear ability. The Americans really did drop these bombs. I'm assuming that he'll be in charge at this place.